Dear Professor Morozov, dear Professor Savas, dear colleagues, let me express my gratitude for the opportunity to present the results, our experience of interregional collaboration of early career psychiatrists. So this is the outline of my presentations. Firstly, I will talk about the Russian Early Career Psychiatrists Council, its aims and tasks. Then I will talk about the educational initiatives and events for early career psychiatrists. The next in the plan will be the publication activities, the research projects and achievements, and the interregional professional collaboration activities of early career psychiatrists. There are some facts about the early career psychiatrists from Russia. We know the fact that even trainees who are highly enthusiastic at the start of their education step down from the way of professional self-development when they encounter the current problems in profession and even have not achieved and haven't tasted their professional identity. We know the fact that 30% of young specialists, young psychiatrists leave psychiatry during 5 years for work, for example, as pharmacy companies promoters because of this 6 times up salaries. So it's the economic issue of changing the profession. 25% of early career psychiatrists compete for being involved into well-paid clinical trials, on the contrary to being involved in clinical practice, clinical work, and 15% die in the choice of their profession and leave medical practice. More than 65% have multiple employment with really hard work pressure. So why do we talk about the collaboration initiatives nowadays? Because we find them helpful in increasing the motivation of early career psychiatrists to their professional self-development, and it seems to me it helps early career psychiatrists to stay in profession and to continue their professional experience in the field of psychiatry. So what is the Russian Early Career Psychiatrists Council? It coordinates the direction of professional self-development and collaboration among young specialists employed in mental health system all over Russia. It works within the Russian Society of Psychiatrists, chaired by Professor Nikolai Neznanov, and it is the work of the Russian Early Career Psychiatrists Council is supervised by the Commission, the Special Commission on Work with Early Career Psychiatrists, chaired by Professor Peter Morozov. Russian Early Career Psychiatrists has a history. It is the only official organization for early career psychiatrists in Russia and exists historically since the 70s. You can see the first school for Russian early career psychiatrists took place in Suzdal in 1979, and also Professor Peter Morozov on the photo, so it's nowadays professors. The main task of Russian Early Career Psychiatrists Council is to improve postgraduate educational curriculum in order to grow up the competent staff of experts, to develop intentions and support motivation in continuing educational activities and research among young psychiatrists, to assist higher education institutions to increase level of qualification and clinical competency of new generation of specialists. So the aim of the Russian Early Career Psychiatrists Council is to protect the new generation of specialists and indirectly improve the mental health service functioning through the specialists' involvement into professional communities. Russian Early Career Psychiatrists Council include more than 400 members from 13 regions of Russia. They are the specialists age less than 40 years old. They are doctor interns, postgraduate students, PhD students, psychiatrists, and educators in mental health programs. In 2011, there was the remodeling of Russian Early Career Psychiatrists Council activities. Now we have the structure. There is the executive committee, presidium, members, and advisory board of senior colleagues. We know the rules, so we have the official statutes document with the 2 years mandate period. We are informed, connected, and acting by sharing tasks, so it's much easier to communicate and to share information with each other through the web internet resources. So we are really something like community, the unity of specialists. So this is the bureaucratical document, the statutes of Russian Early Career Psychiatrist Council, which regulates every detail of early career psychiatrist activities. So this is the executive committee. I'm the past president, and nowadays president is Alexei Pavlichenko from Moscow. We have deputy chairpersons on working with regional departments, Dr. Anastasia Zolotova and Pavel Bomov, and we also have special committees or sections, section on education and acquisition skills, section on research project, section on meetings and exchange programs of early career for early career psychiatrists, section on professional network and grants, section on publication, and section on web resources, which is very important really. So we have this presidium with the heads from 13 departments from different cities all over Russia. You can see the list here on the slide. And also the advisory board, which involve professors, senior colleagues who help us with lectures and work as educators during education events for early career psychiatrists. They are also the supervisors of research projects, all Russian and international projects, help, for example, with ethical committee and protocols for a research organization. And also they work and help us as a research being research consultants of dissertations, of thesis. And the next point of the presentation is the concrete point of achievements, the educational initiatives and events. The main educational event of Russian early career psychiatrists is the school which traditionally takes place in Suzdal, the small ancient town in Russia. And in 2013 there was the 11th school for early career psychiatrists. In historical retrospective, there was the International Faculty of Russian Schools for Early Career Psychiatrists, among them Pierre Deniker, Paul Kielholz, Asen Jablensky, Norman Sartorius, Dries Mossé, and other leading psychiatrists all over the world. Firstly, the 11th School for Early Career Psychiatrists was under the auspices of not just Russian Early Career Psychiatrist Council and Russian Society of Psychiatrists, but also by the World Psychiatric Association. Here you can see the notes from the WPA News, the official edition of World Psychiatric Association. And you can see here that there are some main points about that it was a huge, great event where 400 psychiatrists from Russia, Belarus and Ukraine participated in this event. There were a number of lectures, seminars, roundtable. Professor Jablensky was one of the key speakers. Professor Jablensky is one of the leading specialists who works with the topic of schizophrenia and epidemiology, and so he shared a lot of important information with early career psychiatrists, and also Professor Nizdanov, Professor Krasnov, and Professor Soldatas from Greece took part and delivered lectures for early career psychiatrists. We also discussed clinical cases, and there were also a form of activities like roundtables and discussions, and the very interesting event was Evenings in the Fireplace, so-called. There was the live interview with Professor Asen Jablensky with the story of his academic career, and also there was the screenwriter invited to tell us about the PTSD in art and literature, and also the professor from Czech Republic, Professor David, said about very serious stage of development of psychiatrists in Germany during the World War. The next important event is the seminar in neuropsychopharmacology, which also took place in Suzdal. It was organized by European College of Neuropsychopharmacology. It is an interactive training course in neuropsychopharmacology. 50 early career psychiatrists all over Russia were selected on the basis of their CVs and abstracts of research projects. There were several lectures in the agenda of the meeting. You can see on the slide on acute psychosis, antidepressant treatment, delivered by Professor Selsa Aranga, the elected president of European College of Neuropsychopharmacology, Professor Siretti from Italy, and Michael Davidson about Alzheimer's disease treatment. And also there were, the main activities were workshops, presentation of participants in 3 groups in 3 parallel workshops. This is the international and Russian faculty. And here you can see the photos of the seminar. And you also can see here the seminar award winners who received the awards and had the opportunity to participate in the 26th Congress in Spain with the travel reimbursement and registration fee covered by this award. The next education event is also very important. It is the achievement of Russian Early Career Psychiatrist Council. It is the Master of Psychopharmacology program organized for 35 selected Russian Early Career Psychiatrists and granted by Serbia. It is the course, 1-year course of Neuroscience Education Institutes, founded by Professor Stefan Stahl. Now we are going to complete this master program. You can see here the main topics of the program, the course study guides, and within 12 months of training, with 10 self-assessment exams, 24 short online learning activities sessions, and the final exam. After that, the degree of Master of Psychopharmacology could be achieved by the participant. One more event, the Eastern European Education WCRV Academy. There are 12 early career psychiatrists from Zone 10 Eastern Europe involved, from Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Georgia, selected upon the recommendation of National Societies of Psychiatrists. And the task of this educational training is to attend the session of the Congress regarding the chosen and distributed topics of professional interest, to write out the full text paper, an article on the latest data of the topic, and to publish this paper in a peer-reviewed journal. After the first event, it was the 21st European Congress of Psychiatry, took place in April in Nice, France. 11 articles were published by early career psychiatrists in different journals. This information is in Russian, but it was on the topics of child and adolescent psychiatry, about classifications, I mean statistical classification, DSM and ICD, about depression in primary care, and about modern issues of diagnosis and treatment of negative and cognitive symptoms in schizophrenia. Upon to the latest reports of leading psychiatrists made during the Congress in Nice. And the second event, so there were two events. The second event was the 26th ECNP Congress in Barcelona in October of 2013. And so 11 articles are at the stage of manuscripts, but the activities was improved. Attending a session of the Congress was not the only task of early career psychiatrists. There were also everyday working meetings supervised by Dr. Camus from Servier and Professor Peter Morozov as a representative of WPA Eastern Europe Zone 10. Also, there were training sessions by Lucy Morris on communication skills and academic career development, 2 days training, and also there was some kind of exchange knowledge when we visited the Sapau hospital built by Gaudi and the psychiatry department where the studies of pharmaceutical drugs are organized. Also, there is a course on clinical studies and medical biostatistics where there are sponsored textbooks for participants about medical statistics. It is the certified course, 2 days training program. Briefly about the publications, so there is a professional edition for psychiatrists, the Diary of Psychiatrists, and there is a special rubric of Russian Early Career Psychiatrist Council. So there is a place for early career psychiatrists. Also, we participated in the World Congress of Asian Psychiatry in 2011, and after this event, there was the special rubric as Early Career Psychiatrist Corner organized in Asian Journal of Psychiatry, publishing house Elsevier, Netherlands, and so 3 of early career psychiatrists function as the official assistant editors of this peer review journal. Also, there is a very important thing that early career psychiatrists do. It is the translation into the journal World Psychiatry into Russian language. And we have the group of interpreters. And the next about the research project, there was an exchange program on research project for early career psychiatrists in collaboration with Beersheva Mental Health Center and Ben Gurion University of the Negev in Israel. And Dr. Timur Sinikov and me were involved in this exchange program. The topic of Dr. Sinikov was about the effect of niacin treatment of schizophrenia on the abnormal skin response to nicotinic acid in schizophrenic patients. And my topic was about on how the acquisition of second language influences on cognitive functioning in schizophrenia. We found that the second language acquisition influence on fluency, verbal fluency in schizophrenia. So the articles now are in press. Also, there is an international research project called IDEA, Inpatient Discharge Experience and Analysis, and international collaborative studies organized by the King's College London and the Association of the Improvement of Mental Health Programs, guided by Professor Sartorius and Professor Thornycroft. And this is the validation of the questionnaire on Russian population. Also, the Committee on Research of Russian Early Career Psychiatrist Council organized all Russian interregional projects. So now we have three research projects, rather big ones. First devoted to cognitive disturbances in depressions at the stage of remission. The second is about cognitive disturbances in anxiety disorders in acute phase and the stage of remission, and emotional burnout syndrome in Russian psychiatrists. There are 11 sites, 30 researchers in regional study groups. They organized protocols, data mining, statistical evaluation, improvement of local and central ethic committees. So they are the serious studies, and the co-authored publications are awaited. Also, the new ones, two new ones. The first is diagnostic interview for psychosis. This is the translation of this interview into Russian, education of this interview, validation of the questionnaire on Russian population, and creation of Russian version of diagnostic interview for psychosis. And the main coordinator is Professor Arsen Zheblensky from the University of Western Australia. And the second one is planned, is the studying of psychometric features of 5 affective temperaments using the temperament evaluation of Memphis auto-questionnaire. And the coordinator is Professor Hagop Akiskal from the center at the University of California. And so, briefly, we have this collaboration with different associations of early career psychiatrists from different senior associations, and we have this Russian-Finnish collaboration organized. There were already 2 projects in collaboration with Finnish Psychiatric Association, workshops on improving the quality of postgraduate training in psychiatry, site visits to Helsinki University Central Hospitals, and negotiations of early career psychiatrists about collaborative projects. And we also had this educational day with supervised by Professor Dinesh Bugra, the next president of WPA, who delivered the lecture on psychiatry of 21st century. And here on the slide you can see the workshops which were organized by Russian and Finnish early career psychiatrists themselves. Also there was the Russian-Swedish collaboration with the visit of Swedish delegation to St. Petersburg with a big conference with 10 reports, and also Russian-Greek collaboration, and also the training program in Melbourne, Australia, of the Asian Federation of Early Career Psychiatrists, and they are the second one in Cochin in India, about the image of modern psychiatrists, leadership, professionalism and humanism. And here you can see Professor Keshavan, who is one of the leading specialists in schizophrenia in the world. I just want to, one more time, to pay your attention on the main idea of my presentation. Why do we talk about the collaboration initiatives? Because we find them helpful in increasing the motivation of early career psychiatrists to professional self-development. Thank you for your attention.